Christian didn't travel the other day. He will travel. Benteke will travel this time.
He'll travel. He'll travel. Yeah. He just finished training. We're going to check in and see how he is. But he'll definitely travel, and hopefully he's a part of the match big part of the match on Saturday.
Sounds like it might be a bit of a leap to get 60, 70 minutes out of him, or is that still a possibility?
It depends. It depends on him, how he sleeps, how he feels after training.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of it just depends on how he checks out. Maybe there's more of a test in the morning as well for him.
Yeah.
But he's feeling good, and he's heading in the right direction, which we want.
Good. And then Connor and Gabby were okay after their little.
Yeah, they've come through. They've trained today too. So, yeah, we're hopeful that everything's all well and good with both.
Okay. Let's see, and then Schnegg and Herrera are back in the mix, obviously, so they'll make the trip.
Yeah.
Given that your 4-man back seems to work pretty well the last couple games, how do you think that adjustment has impacted the way you do things and the number of chances you're allowed?
I think the way we've set up the past 2 matches has just provided a lot of structure to how we want to defend, and just limiting space, gaps between the lines has helped us become more difficult to play against, and we're trying to limit the opponent to big chances. So I feel like we've been organized quite well for the most part, but there's still moments that we're looking at and areas where we can make big improvements in terms of now when we find that defensive structure, just the details within it.
How would you describe the level of fatigue or the resiliency now, given all the travel, the away games, and obviously the stress of what's been going on off the field?
Yeah, I think with the amount of games that we've been playing and the travel, there hasn't been that much time to allow the stress off the pitch in terms of changes to really negatively affect the group. It's just been managing day to day and managing travel and recovery has been a big focus, and there's no doubt about it that the guys are feeling that fatigue. I think anyone would with all the travel and the matches that we've been playing. So, but the way that they're going about the work, the way they're going about it on a day to day has been excellent. Their mentality, the attitude, like you said, resilience. These guys they've been very, very good throughout this period, and I think there's a lot of positive energy around the group going into Saturday, and it's just there's such a short time to get to review, recover, and then prepare. But they're quite dialed in. We're quite dialed in at the moment. So finish up our last bits of preparation leading into the match tomorrow.
I asked you the other night, but I wanted to circle back. Have you had any communication with Renee at all the last day or two?
I haven't. We've been talking about setting these things up. It's just there just hasn't been much time. Yeah.
All right. Good. That's it. Great. Ryan, if you want to go to Zoom now.
Yep. We'll start with Dave Johnson.
Hi, Kevin. This schedule has been, crazy as you're trying to sort things out. Have you had a chance to breathe a little bit and assess things? Because you go from Nashville to LA to Charlotte, it seems like it's tough if you're trying to manage everything. Now, how do you feel right now about this team?
Yeah, it's been very busy. There's no doubt about it. But in terms of, I think next week, once we get through the match tomorrow, we can slow down a little bit and start looking at some things in more detail. But it's been very busy, and our support staff at the club, the leadership at the club, the players, everyone's been on top of things. When you're in these moments, it's important that everything else is very well organized, and there's no guessing in those circumstances. So yeah, it's just been, the past week has been just heavily focused on preparation for matches on off the pitch, and then reviewing games and recovering as best we can, and then preparing for the next match. So that's been largely just a large part of the focus.
And you mentioned, less predictable to play against as you get the defensive structure right. Can you give some just thoughts on how, this team can be more dangerous on the attacking end?
Yeah, I think a healthy Christian Benteke up top brings a lot to us as a group, and just having a time to prepare as well. But and the fact that we've been on the road, you're going to set up differently on the road than you will at home. So just getting through this period, and looking at some areas where we can improve in terms of going forward, and being creative, and creating attacking chances, and it's something that we're going to dig into a bit next week. But there's definitely more to us from an attacking standpoint, and I think with that structure now, from a defensive standpoint, I think we'll start to see more chances on the attacking end of the game.
Next, we'll go to Bruce Murray.
Hey, Kevin, thanks for the time. You and I talked last week about Gabriel Pirani maybe creating a more of a role for chances that he can because he almost had identical goals back to back in 2 games. Is there more opportunity for him to attack those spaces like he has the ability to do? Because obviously, when he does, United is a big benefactor.
Yeah, within how we want to play, he's definitely a player that we want on the ball as much as possible in space with time, and then we'll see his quality continue to come out. He's in a good moment. He's enjoying his football, and I can only see him growing and thriving with that confidence moving forward.
Is it also one of those situations where if you see him go and you're playing with him, do you just drop and do you help him out defensively, or does he do this within your system or your structure of play? There's obviously 2 ways it can happen.
Yeah, I think from a global structure standpoint, whenever he's on it and he's dropping into areas and finding space to pick up the ball, it's important that we're organized defensively behind the ball, and players are recognizing these moments and situations, and there's rotations involved as well, but that the defensive structure stays intact in those moments.
Thanks, Kevin. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Donald Wine.
Thank you. Hey, Kevin, thank you for your time today. When a team is slumping, there's obviously mental barriers that get created and how you kind of overcome that bump. In your mind, I know you've been in charge for a little over a week now, but what have you seen that you think are the biggest mental barriers that this team needs to overcome to get back on the positive side of things?
Yeah, it's a good question. It's all about mindset and mentality, and we've got a great group of guys, and the character within the group and the individuals is top, and it's about being resilient, staying focused, and having that growth mindset as well, in the sense that knowing we can improve, identifying areas where we can improve individually and collectively, and just constantly learning throughout that process. So it's frustrating for everyone at the club to be in a moment like we're in, but the characters we have in the locker room are, there's great guys in there, and they've been in situations like this before, and their mentality and attitude at the moment is in a place where they know, hey, we need to, we need to pick it up, and they know what's necessary to do that. So it's keep driving on, and just maintaining positive growth mindset throughout the moment that we're in.
And looking ahead to Columbus tomorrow, obviously they're usually very good at home, top 4 in the MLS right now, in the Eastern Conference, I should say, right now. What do you see from the film, from what you've seen about them? What areas do you think are able to kind of neutralize some of the talents that they do have and get the result?
Yeah, there's a team like Columbus, and you watch film, and there are many areas, so it's important that we're aware of everything that they can't do, and the individual players within their system. So there's create a lot of problems in possession, and if you start to solve those problems, they'll adapt and shift, and that's just the quality that they have, and their understanding of their game and their system is they're very adaptable and creative in solving problems. If you stop them from doing one thing, they can do many others. So it's just, for us, it's about being aware, it's about being organized and switched on for 90 plus minutes, and then working together to solve problems, and being adaptable ourselves from a defensive standpoint.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we will end it with Dennis Gomez.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Kevin, for your time. I just want to ask you quickly about your coaching career, and can you tell us a little bit more about coaches that have influenced your approach to the game?
Look, I've got a 20-plus year career coaching. I'll refrain from naming names from a mentor and influence standpoint, because I know I'm going to miss somebody. But it's as a coach, you're a constant learner, and it's important that you have a growth mindset yourself, and as you're around other coaches in the industry, that you're bouncing ideas off each other, and there's a large, close-knit network of coaches in our country, and the ability to learn from each other is always there, and most every coach I've come across and been around are open to sharing ideas and chopping things up, and being creative in that sense as well. So I don't really want to dig into naming names, but most of those guys know who they are.
And lastly, how can you keep the team motivated based on the commitment that was made earlier this season to make the playoffs, and but also knowing that there's a gap, almost a 12, 13 point gap between DC United and the playoff spot position?
Yeah, look, the players are motivated, and they know, and most of our lads have been in situations like this before, and it's a long season, and a lot of things can happen in August and September, and you know, we need a result that's clear to turn things around and start moving forward. And it takes a moment, it takes a match to do that. So I haven't had any challenges motivating the group, and there's, like I said, there's a lot of positivity in our locker room, and there's some big time characters and leaders within there as well that are confident and driven to turn things around and continue to push